That's the point of it all. No one's miserable and everyone actually gets to enjoy what they do.
Psychological safety plays a huge part in a group's productivity, their turnover, and their efficiency, essentially. So, what psychological safety is that I can come into the workplace and I can feel 100% safe. Meaning, I don't have to worry that my boss hates me and is trying to fire me. I don't have to worry that my coworker is going to stab me in the back and take credit for a project that I did. I don't have to worry that my direct reports are going to, take an issue with something that I did and then go and talk poorly about me behind my back with other people who I supervise or people from other teams that leads to a terrible reputation of me. I don't have to worry about, me being downsized. I don't have to worry about, me getting in trouble. I don't have to worry about A, B, and C. And a lot of companies operate that way, is that we want people to know that there's a constant threat. That way they'll be more motivated to do their job. And that's just frankly not true. The research has shown it for, tens of years, if not longer. When people feel constantly threatened, it doesn't have to be just physical threats. Psychological threats, it can be the threat of not having job security. It can be the threat of not getting a promotional opportunity or maybe, getting demoted. If there's some type of threat in their mind that jeopardizes their position in that social circle of the company or with their financial obligations outside that the work that they do in the company directly reflects, they're not going to be productive. Essentially, instead of giving 100% of their time and focus onto their work, they're going to give 60% of their time and focus to work, and the other 40% is going to be focused around, can I trust Tim? Can I trust Carol? Is my supervisor Stacy gonna, try to gun for me? Is my direct report Frank gonna be, spreading rumors about me? Do I need to be on my toes the entire time? If I'm gonna work with Samantha, do I have to walk on eggshells to make sure I don't upset her so she doesn't lash out at me in person? These are things that are very, very common in the workplace, and people just accommodate to them because they don't want to have that direct conversation with people because they think it might be awkward. If you have Carol, who's a really unpleasant person and treats everyone very, very poorly, instead of someone having a conversation with her saying, hey, you're treating everyone poorly, like, it has to stop because it's affecting us this way, what can we do to, make this a better place? Instead, people just accommodate to it. They'll say, well, let's just come into work an hour early so we don't have to see her or walk in with her when she comes into the building. Let's stay a little late so we don't need to run into her as she's leaving. Let's have lunch at different times so we don't have to ever worry about overlapping with her. And they'll make these changes to their day, to their work, to their form of thinking to accommodate avoiding this toxic person. Or to accommodate, getting in the line sight of their supervisor because they don't feel comfortable with that person, or to, be a people pleaser with the people that they oversee because they don't want anyone to gossip about them behind their back. And when you spend all of your time trying to maintain your sense of safety in a workplace, your work's going to fall to the wayside because in your brain you have more important things like staying at this company to worry about. So when you're in a leadership position, one of your main responsibilities is obviously to make your team as efficient and productive as possible. And one of the big foundations that's required for that to happen is that they all have to feel safe in their work. They need to feel like they can trust each other. They need to feel like they can trust you. They need to feel like they have a future with this company. They need to feel like they can fail and learn from their failure without, being written up or put on a performance improvement plan or, potentially being terminated. When they feel that their job is secure and safe no matter what, that's when they feel like they have the freedom to do anything. That's when they can, throw out half-baked ideas to see if there's any traction or potential. That's when they feel like they can point out errors that other people are making without fear of getting lashed back at. That's when they can question their supervisor on their position and say, is this really the best idea, or should we, take into account A, B, and C? That gives the overall team the best plan possible without worrying about their supervisor's ego resulting in a, write-up for them. So that's what safety is. And when people have that safety, they have the platform to perform their best work. Now, again, a lot of people feel like, well, if there's no threat, then there's no motivation for them to perform their best work, and that's just simply not true. Again, if you're the supervisor, part of your position is going to be, holding them to your standards, holding them accountable and things like that. But just know that unless they have the platform for safety, holding them to those high standards is going to be a very, very challenging task. That's going to result in a lot of failure without improvement, and you're setting your team as well as yourself up for failure. So establishing safety, making sure that everyone feels comfortable and happy at work, is one of the foundations needed for them to actually be successful.
Hey, what's up everybody? I just want to thank you real quick for watching my content. I really, really appreciate it, and I hope that it's bringing you some value. I know this stuff is really good to hear, but you actually have to apply it to your workplace for the actual value to be there. So if you have any questions on how to do that, if you have any topics that I haven't covered that you want to learn more about, if you have some scenarios that you want some advice on, feel free to shoot me a message. I'd be more than happy to help people out with that. As well as if you've watched the content and you're seeing value in it and you're actually interested in working with the Leadership 101 consulting company, I'll include my email in this video, as well as our website is thisisleadership101.com. Feel free to shoot us a message. We can set up a phone call or a meeting and just kind of talk about what issues are going on, what you're hoping that we can do to help out, and go from there. Thanks, everybody.